Spooky season is finally here, and we're gonna look at all the houses that are going on at HHN. Let's get into it. What's good, everybody? Josh here, and welcome back to another video. And yes, finally Halloween Horror Nights is here, or I should say Halloween season is finally making its way here in Orlando. We are very special in Orlando. We start our Halloween stuff in August, moving into the end of October. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party just began recently. Unfortunately, we're not going to be going to that only because we can't afford it right now, but it is something that we do want to do in the future. But for sure, we are going to Halloween Horror Nights. We've been doing it for the past 2 years, which is actually pretty crazy because I used to be like scared, like very scared to go to this event. But let me tell you something, Katrina, she's broken me in a good way, because she's like broken a lot of fears that I've had. Like, I used to not go on roller coasters, I go upside down. I had no interest in HHN, and she's like opened my mind to things about life that I look at so differently now, and just so many things to be excited about. So that's why I love her very much. Well, one of the reasons. But anyways, let's get into this. By the way, a little side topic before I begin. Let me know what you guys think about this setup. I'm actually really happy with it. I just turned on this light just now that I have so I can make the lighting better in here. But I think this is it. But let me know if there's anything I can do to improve it. But I think I'm pretty happy about it. All right, now let's get into it. All right, so this is gonna be my raw reaction to all the houses. I really only know of like one, actually technically three, because they leaked 2 of them at the very beginning before everything got announced, and then I saw one just scrolling through my feed. I didn't want to react to it. I wanted to come on camera and do it so y'all can see how I feel about it, and I'm actually really excited to see. So yeah, I have my iPad right here. We're gonna take a look. Actually, I'll also go ahead and put like snippets or like photos of what the art looks like for each house and stuff like that, or like the title thing. Sometimes I don't know words, guys, I'm sorry. All right, first of all, let's talk about the 3 houses that we know of since before, like, I don't even know, like, it's been like, since like 2 months ago they've announced these houses, or maybe it was last month, can't really remember. But we know about a Chucky house, Last of Us, which a lot of people are excited about. I haven't played that game before. Y'all gotta let me know if it's really worth it. We do have a PlayStation 5, and Katrina barely uses it, so y'all let me know if I should play that. I wonder if I should play it before I go and do the houses, or at least watch the show. I haven't seen the show either. But Last of Us, and finally Stranger Things. We are currently rewatching, well, I'm rewatching the 2nd season of Stranger Things. Katrina hasn't watched Stranger Things, so right now we're on season 2. And we plan on finishing it so we can enjoy this house to its full detail, because I feel like we're gonna be missing out on things because we haven't watched the show like that. So that is something we've been working on. But going off on the first Stranger Things house I did, which I am honestly feeling a lot of regret not going to that house, because again, I was afraid to go to HHN at that time. So it is a huge regret. I did watch YouTube videos on it and it looks so dope. And I know they're gonna kill it this year too. But now let's get into all the other houses they recently announced. Let's see, this post was on July 28th. And actually, oh, I can see the dates here when they announced The Last of Us and Stranger Things. So The Last of Us was announced on June 15th. And Stranger Things was July 13th. Chucky, we knew about that since last year, so it's been a minute. I remember going to my orientation for Universal. It's like your first day orientation, and they told us about the Chucky house. So I think this was like very old news. All right, now let's get to the other stuff that is coming. And man, I heard that there are some bangers in here. And I'm gonna give my personal opinion what I think is gonna win House of the Year, which if y'all don't know what House of the Year is, Universal does this voting every year to see which house is the most successful, or I shouldn't say the most successful, which is, I guess, the most famous one of the year. Like last year was Dead Man's Pier. I always had a feeling that was gonna be the best house without even going inside the house. Like the title looked so cool, like the art that they did for the title. And it just looked so intriguing. And man, when I went in there, they did not disappoint. The immersiveness of that house was ridiculous, and I loved it so much. I wish they made more merch for it. I would love a t-shirt of that, but unfortunately we didn't get that. So we're gonna go in order from the houses. I'm gonna go from like the least intrigued to the most intriguing. When I say the least intrigued, it doesn't mean it's gonna be a bad house. It's just like not the one I'm specifically excited about. All right, so starting from the lowest, we got Chucky. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the bios for all the houses that they're on Universal's website. I'm literally just gonna read what they put for like the summary of what the house is supposed to be, and then I'll give my reaction. Am I excited about it? Is it kind of eh? So here we go. This is what Chucky says. Chucky's back for even more carnage. Chucky, the serial killer doll, is back for a new gore fest. He's hijacked his own haunted house with all kinds of bloody hijinks. You and your friends must try to survive his ultimate kill count. So I'm actually intrigued how they're gonna do this. Like, is Chucky gonna be an animatronic? Because, you know, he's a doll. So, I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see how they're gonna do it. It's Chucky. I think it will be a good house. Not everybody's crazy about the movies. He is a very iconic character in the haunted, or like the horror industry. So, I'm sure it will do good. You know, am I that excited about it? Not really. I mean, we'll see. I might change my mind. I'm just going off of the titles right now. So the way that I have my list right now, it could definitely change when I go see these houses in person. All right, next house. And this is one, and this one's kind of like a tie to Chucky. Honestly, thinking about more, I feel like I'm gonna put Chucky above this one. I'm not sure yet, but it is The Exorcist house. And it reads, an evil reawakened. 2 missing girls have been found with no memory of what happened to them, but wherever they went, the ultimate evil has returned with them. Enter the most terrifying scenes from the new Blumhouse films. Oh, sorry, Blumhouse films. Blumhouse? Blumhouse. Yeah, I mean, it's The Exorcist. I got freaked out by those movies when I was a kid. My dad would watch them in the living room, and I was totally scared to watch them, but I started watching them when I turned around like 23 to 24 years old, and now I love them. Well, I shouldn't say I love them, but I am intrigued by their stories because I do like watching paranormal things like Ghost Adventures, stuff like that. I don't mess with a Ouija board, so I don't like get into that stuff myself. I just love watching it on TV. But given that, that's why I put it, actually, yeah, think about it, I think I am gonna put it higher than Chucky, only because I'm intrigued in those kind of stories. However, I think it is gonna be a very creepy house. You know, one house I did not go to last year was the Michael Myers house, only because it freaked me out. I just couldn't. I think it was way too much for me. You know, I slowly get more comfortable with HHN. I mean, before I would go through these houses, and this was like 2 years ago, I would go through the houses and put music on and just get used to the characters jump scaring me and things like that, because I feel like that would trigger me a lot. And then last year I started, you know, wearing ear protection. I just wear like earbuds when transparency mode, because I discovered that it's the loud noises that trigger me. And sometimes these houses are really loud. And I'm very like strict on keeping my hearing like healthy, because I do audio engineering stuff off the side, and I don't need a house destroying my hearing like that. I cherish my hearing a lot. So I'm probably gonna do that this year still. But I'm telling you, every time I get more comfortable, and I'm probably gonna go in this Exorcist house. I kind of regret not going in Michael Myers looking at it today. So I'm probably gonna go next time they do it, which they probably will do it because that is a Universal monster. Is it a Universal monster? It says here that he is part of Universal, so I guess he is a Universal monster. But anyways, going back to the houses, yeah, I think I will enjoy Exorcist. And if they do a Michael Myers house again in the future, I probably will go to it. Honestly, the thing that scared me the most about the Michael Myers house is like all these dummies of like mannequins of Michael Myers, and then there's the real ones. But they did that with the Weekend house last year, and I didn't know that they were even doing that. And I turned out fine, so I'll probably go to a Michael Myers house and be okay. Moving on. All right, so next house is Blood Moon Dark Offerings. Bleed for the Blood Moon. In a colonial era village, oh sorry, let me reread that. Bleed for the Blood Moon. In a colonial era village, moon worshippers witness a blood moon at their fall festival. They take it as a sign to hunt down any non-followers, including you and your Scream Squad. So I believe this is an original house. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds very intriguing. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. A bunch of blood moon worshippers attacking you because you're not a blood moon worshipper. Pretty easy concept. Sounds freaky. Sounds very cool. I don't know what to really expect from this house, but I think it is a very cool idea. I mean, there's really not much to say about it. Very intriguing description about it, for sure. Which, by the way, moving forward, you know, Universal has a lot of original houses this year, and I think that is an amazing thing that they're doing, because I feel like they definitely perform a lot better as far as like developing these houses when it comes to the original houses. Because I feel like with IPs, there's like a standard of like things you have to do, so it really feels like you're in a movie and stuff like that. And when it comes to original houses, there's just so much more room for creativity, because you could go more crazy with it. You have all these crazy ideas, and I feel like they perform a lot better with creating these original houses. And I think Universal Creative, you know, they are such bright minds, and I know this house is not gonna be a disappointment. All right, I'm having a hard time picking which house I would put on my list from least intrigued to most intrigued, because they all sound amazing. But I think I'm gonna put Universal's Monsters Unmasked next. So this one reads, for Universal Monsters, one new nightmare. Descend into the Paris catacombs, where you and your squad will face a new horde of monsters: Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Invisible Man. Universal Monsters. I am a big fan of Universal Monsters, from the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, all of them. I think Universal has always killed it with their horror movies and stuff like that. Whenever a new one comes out, I am at the point where I will go to the theater and watch it. So I think this house is not going to disappoint. I expect this house to kind of be like last year with Mummy versus Dracula versus the Wolfman. I kind of expect that kind of vibe out of the house. It seems like a normal Universal Monsters house, but they have never disappointed with those houses. To my standards, they've always done a good job. So things can be really cool. All right, moving on, and this is getting so much harder, guys. I'm like looking through this. All these houses sound so cool, and I don't know where to place the next one because it's just getting so much harder. But I think we're gonna do The Darkest Deal next. Let me scroll over so you can see something better. All right, so this one reads, fame is fleeting, fear is forever. Blues musician Pine Straw Spruce will have to face the music after meeting with the collector and trading his soul for musical glory. You and your squad learn the terrible place. Oh, sorry. You and your squad learn the terrible price of fame. So this one was tough to put here because it's tough because I love music themed things, and I think this is very cool. It's a story that starts with the main character of a musician, and I don't know, I'm very intrigued by stuff like that. So, you know, I had a hard time putting this one here. I want to rate it higher. I think it's going to be a really cool house. Again, I don't know what the expectation is or what it's going to be like, but I'm just super intrigued by it. I love musical stories and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be really cool, and I am very, very excited about it. All right, next house, and this one might be controversial, people, because I know there's a lot of hardcore Universal fans that might not agree with me on putting this one at this placement, but I am putting the Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate house next. So this one reads, no matter who you choose, you lose. Two warlocks of great power were turned into dragons after trying to take Merlin's spellbook. Now you and your friends are caught in their epic battle. You must choose a path and a victor. So this is going to be very interesting. It sounds like there's going to be two different routes that you can go if you choose to go the blue or the red route. So, you know, obviously we're going to do both. That's what it sounds like. So it sounds like you're going to have two houses in one building. So I think that is very, very cool. The reason why I put it lower compared to the other ones I'm gonna bring up, I mean, I never went on Dueling Dragons because, again, going back to my past, I was very afraid to go on those kind of roller coasters. Do I regret it? Heck yes, but I'm not upset by what replaced it, which is Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. I think it's gonna be a very cool house. I mean, this one might be the one that wins House of the Year. It's not the one I personally believe will, because I think the other houses, as far as theming, are gonna be better. I don't know. That's just my believe, and I know it's very controversial. I had this conversation with my ex-roommates, and they believe this house is gonna win, and it might actually win. I don't know. We have to see this house once we get there. But yeah, Dueling Dragons, I think it's very cool. You're taking a old ride and you're bringing it back into a haunted house, and I think it should be very cool. Do I think it'll be better than the one I have at the very top? I don't think so, but I could be very much wrong. But again, very cool house. All right, next house I'm putting on that list is gonna be the Last of Us house. This one might change of how I feel, but it is the very first video game house, and I think it's gonna be very cool. Even though I don't much about it, I should really like watch gaming content of the movie or of the game words. Let me reword that. I should try to go ahead and I should try watching the show and get a vibe for it. You know what? I might put this lower than Dueling Dragons. So I'm gonna put this and then Dueling Dragons on top of this. Only because, like, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if Last of Us is about zombies and stuff like that, or like an apocalypse or stuff of that nature. I'm not very big on those type of things. Like, so I think I'm gonna actually put it lower than Dueling Dragons, and then I'll put Dueling Dragons on top of that. So there you go. And then next, I will have the Stranger Things house as the next house I'm very intrigued by, only because I saw the first one and it looked so dope. So I'm like almost 100% confident that this one is gonna do amazing as well. So this one reads, try to escape the curse of Vecna. Vecna? I hope I'm saying her name right, or his name. You'll need your squad to resist Vecna's gruesome curse. Like 11, now's your chance to stop him once. Oh, it's a him. Sorry, my apologies. Where was it? Oh yeah, now's your chance to stop him once and for all as you take on the scariest season of Stranger Things yet. I mean, it's Stranger Things, man. I love the show so much from what I've seen so far. We're gonna try to finish the show before we go to the event, and we'll see what this is all about. But I love the show Stranger Things. I think this house is gonna do great as one of their IPs. All right, we only got 2 houses left. So the next one, second to last, I have on my list as my second most intrigued house, and that is Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you first, and I'm gonna give my reasons. All right, so it says, your soul is a price he's willing to pay. You won't be able to resist going inside Dr. Oddfellow's menacing menagerie of twisted oddities. But the price for you and your friends is steep. The cost of your souls to feed his immortal power. So I had to learn about who Dr. Oddfellow was, and he's basically the creator of Jack the Clown. And he's basically a circus entrepreneur. It's kind of funny. He's kind of like Universal's version of Dr. Facilier, or Disney's Dr. Facilier. So I think it's kind of funny. Kind of like they're like the same type of concept. Dr. Oddfellow, from what I've learned, he's very much into the whole entire Zodiac thing and how he gets power from that, to my understanding. Which, by the way, side topic, he was the one that killed Jack too. I mean, I'm intrigued by this house really because I love the lore of these icons that Universal created for Halloween Horror Nights. There's a whole story about this, of all these characters. So I think it's a very cool house. I believe he is the icon this year, as there are like different scare zones. We'll have to talk about scare zones. I'll get into that later in the video. But yeah, I believe he is the host this year. So obviously this has a lot of hype for me, and I'm very intrigued to see what this house is all about. And I just love the icons that Universal makes for Halloween Horror Nights, and that's why I have it as number 2. because he's the icon and I want to learn more about him. Alright guys, now here's my number one house, the one I think is gonna win House of the Year, and that is Yeti Campground Kills. Alright, let me read this one to you guys. Yeti or not, here they come. You and your friends are about to venture into a 1950s campground overrun by huge, menacing Yetis who rip apart anyone who gets in their way. You must flee to the Ranger's Tower to escape. Man, listen. I think Yetis are awesome. Like, I've always had a thing for them. I love Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom. I love watching Finding Sasquatch or whatever that show's called on Animal Planet. I used to watch that all the time. I think it's a very cool concept. They've done a house like this in the past, which I believe the house did win House of the Year that year, but I'm not too sure. I believe they did. I'm gonna have to look that up. Actually, just did some fact checking here. This is interesting. The MS Pier did not win last year. It was actually Universal's Monsters Legends of Collide, so that was the one with Dracula, Wolfman, and Mummy. That won last year, so that's interesting. I did not know that, so I was wrong about that. And also the Yeti house, the one that they've done previously, was not a House of the Year. So, hey, at least I'm owning up to it and I was wrong about that. But I still believe it has a big shot of becoming House of the Year this year, because I think the entire concept sounds dope. Like you're in a campground and you're like, ah, Yeti. I don't know. It just sounds very intriguing to me. And yeah, I don't know. I just love things about, like, stories about Yetis and stuff like that. I'm very intrigued by it. But again, I could be very wrong. And it could definitely be Dueling Dragons. I don't know. There's a lot of good houses this year. It's very hard to say. We're going to have to go in these houses and really see which one is really at the top. But going off of these titles, I have Yeti number one. Now, I do want to back up a little bit. I do want to make some changes of the order. Given everything, I think I'm going to put The Last of Us in third place from like lowest to highest. So it would be Chucky at the bottom, Exorcist, and then The Last of Us. And then everything else from there after. Only because, like, I don't know much about it. I never, like, was intrigued by the lore of it. I should definitely watch videos and gameplay, and maybe I will be more intrigued by it. But as of right now, as this video, I'm keeping it there. But I know that's very controversial because people love that title, and I'm sure people have it a lot higher than where I'm putting it, and that is totally fine. This is all an opinion, and yeah, it could definitely change. But yeah, guys, those are all the houses this year. That was my raw reaction to them. To say that I'm like least intrigued to like most intrigued, I'm honestly intrigued to see all of them. It's just, you know, that's like my level of excitement going up the staircase and stuff like, or of whatnot. Words. But yeah, guys, make sure you stay tuned. The next video I want to do is I want to go to Universal and go look at the area for all the scare zones and just tell you what they are and my opinion of what I think they're going to be, which there are some really cool ones there from what I've heard. I don't know exactly where they are or what they are. I've only heard a couple titles like Megan, and I know Dr. Oddfellow has a few places. So stay tuned for that video. Probably not going to go until like this coming weekend, only because my work schedule doesn't really allow me to go ahead and do that. But that will be the next video. I'm hoping to have that up by this coming Monday or Tuesday. Just for reference, today is Wednesday. I'm gonna have this video up for tomorrow, Thursday. So a couple days after that, I'm gonna vlog all the scare zones on Sunday, and then I should have the video up the next day, Monday or Tuesday. Shooting for Monday though. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know yet. But whatever that day is, you will know. Which, speaking of, if you guys want to reach me the quickest, to have like the most quickest update on things, make sure you are following my Instagram. I'll put it right here. I post all my photos that I do, and I'm always on my stories doing vlogs on my Instagram stories and all that fun stuff. So yeah, if you want to engage with me the most, it's going to be through Instagram. I'm very active on my DMs and stuff like that. I love talking to everybody and engaging. But again, you don't all have to do that. It's just another way that you can reach me. And just don't forget, this is also a photography channel. I will be taking amazing photos with all the scare actors, when I go to Halloween Horror Nights, and they're all gonna be here on my Instagram. So make sure you are following there, because I take a lot of pride in the photos I take. I love using the cameras that I have, and I think they are more than capable of getting the results I want. So, you know, if you're into that stuff and you want to see some cool photos, leave that follow, man, and you know, that will be greatly appreciated. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what house are you most excited about? Which one are you least excited about? What do you guys think of my opinion on the houses? I'm always open to hearing what you guys have to say, because you know what, my opinion might just change based on the comments you guys leave. So I'm always learning things about these houses and stuff like that. So trust me, I love engaging with you guys. But I hope you guys did like this video. Make sure you do like, subscribe, share. As you know, it will help out the channel a lot, and it will leave a smile on my face. But alright guys, until next week, appreciate you all so much. I hope you are doing amazing. Love you guys.